Hey guys, I just wanted to share my skin routine.
Shut your fucking mouth! No problem, John. Shut the fuck up, you cunt! Shut it!
I came to laugh at you.
Where the fuck are you, huh? It's Chopper Reed here. Now it occurred to me there might be kiddies watching, yeah? Hello, kiddies. Fucking hello. Hello.
They fucked! I think that's the best way to start this. They fucked! How you doing?
Some people that watch this show still don't realise what the problem is. It's like, why are you complaining that he got his end away? It's like, well, I don't know. Maybe the fact that she's an alien spy that's intent on destroying the entire human race might be a bit of a problem. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll see how we go. But how we doing, boys and girls? Good to see you all. Yes, they fucked. I didn't fall asleep on the carpet this time, but Chief certainly fell asleep on some carpet. That's for damn sure. Mike can't make it. He has a very good reason. I just spoke with him very recently. He's still rubbing many out to the sex scene. So Mike is kind of ashamed to show himself at the moment. I tried to tell him it's all good. We don't kink shame here, but you do you. So he's not going to
face
make
like Cortana's.
Yeah. We'll get to that. And Lady G, she'll probably pop in a little bit later as she normally does, and we'll see how we go. But we do have the British Dragon of Oxford, Disparu.
Hello, I heard that I'd missed the cheeks in this episode, because so far there has been like secret hidden cheeks for every episode since they started revealing them. And apparently in this one, it is in the scene where Gun Oil Gunk Woman is doing the weightlifting. Apparently it really zooms in on him. Now, I skipped past that bit, so I don't know. I like the idea that it's now turned into a bit of a game to try and find out the secret arse shot.
It's like, remember those Where's Wally books? Every episode you gotta find it.
It's like it's gonna appear at some point. We need the close-up.
Oh my god, this episode, though. I called it, man, Mike. We told you. It's all sex.
I was amazed. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Because it was kind of going that way anyway at the end of... The weird thing is, I've been thinking about the Quan episode as if it's the last episode. No, as I was thinking of the when where they end on the Halo ring as if it's the last one. My brain just forgot Quan episode even existed because it felt so separate to the rest of the series. And so it feels like, oh, I've just missed a week.
Yeah, it didn't really have anything to do with anything, that one, did it?
No,
but that's
entirely separate. I don't know how they're even going to link it in. He's probably going to touch the thing again and have another vision, because that's their main plot device.
The sacred toilet seat. So I got a question for Disparu and the chat, and then I will catch up on the chat. Just type 1 if you think the answer is yes. But Disparu, chat, do you think she's pregnant?
No.
No?
I think that would add in too many complications. And at the end, he's only had that pill out, like, what, a few days at this point? I have no concept of time in this series. I don't know how much time has passed. But if that was meant to make him so he couldn't have kids, how long does that take to wear off? That's the question.
I reckon she's pregnant, and I reckon that's going to be a big part of season 2. It's going to be him being like, oh, that's my kid, but she's a covenant spy. Cortana, what do I do?
I don't know, because she knows where that planet is now. So in the next episode, are they just going to wipe that planet out?
That's what I said the other week. I was like, this unintentionally, them getting together before fucking, this unintentionally might lead to the actual fall of Reach, which is a pretty big deal in the Halo universe.
Because until this episode, I wasn't even sure if they were glassing planets, because they'd never really talked about it or anything. We've only shown like surgical 2-man teams going in to do stuff. Whereas in this, they actually show turning something to like complete lava. So I don't know why you'd show that unless you're literally leading up to it happening.
And that was wicked. And that's something this show's done a few times. Is every now and then it will show something where you're like, dude, more of that, do more of that. And then they just get away from it. And, oh boy, we'll see how we go. But let's get the chat open. Thank you for being here, boys and girls. Smash that thumbs up button until it goes blue like Cortana while she was watching them bang. I've seen Cuctana and Voyana are the two I've seen going around, and both of them make me laugh a lot. Okay, so I see Mud Crab. Good day, Mud Crab. Look at her nose on the thumbnail. Oh yeah, she's all squished in. Did Master Cheeks pull out low? I'm gonna say no.
No.
I'm leaning no.
I mean, if it was his first time, he wouldn't even know that much about it.
Yeah, Cortana learned love by watching 2 adult virgins bang.
Just the look of disappointment, that's what got me.
Oh, it's so good. Silver Timeline. I'm at a loss for words. They banged and Cortana watched. Who fought Halo when writing this? How is this Halo?
Can you imagine writing that scene though, and you're like halfway through it, and you're like, "No, I need to make Cortana watch this." It's like she couldn't have just like hid or something. No, I need to show it.
She could have just turned off for a little bit, just be like, nope. Starting a brave Megatron, Master Cheek, Slam Justin Bieber. Hey man, every man has needs. Jade Shadow, good morning. Hello Prime, how you doing? Skirmitar, g'day Skirmitar. Boss Hog, let's go, Master Cheeks, you dog. Fucking hello. Doritos is in here. BLT, good morning, BLT. I am not sleeping on the carpet, but Cheeks did. Amininity's here. Hello, how you doing? Sultan, hello, Sultan, sir. D-Day Direwolf, good to see you, sir. Ishiban Eshai, bruh. I bet you that was his noise that he made out just as he climaxed. Oh, Vistara, I love this Weeb intro music. Yeah, that's a remix from Evangelion. Balls deep. Yeah. Damn you, Lethal, for speaking this shit episode into existence.
They like refilmed it. It's like, oh, that's amazing. We could have had that in.
Turns out there's like producers like lurking at all these streams. Like, that's a fucking wicked idea. How was the cheek sex scene out of 10? Well, how do we want to judge this? Creepy,
Yeah, what kind of...
freaky, awkward. I'll give it a 10 out of awkward.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, especially the bit afterwards, because in the other previous episode, when they're on the ring, he did that kind of I touch your face kind of cheek thing. And in this, at the end of it, she does that as well, but she does it with like her finger of the energy blade, thinking I'm going to kill you. So that is incredibly creepy. I also have to say, the creepy scientist in this, he has the best line he's ever said, where he's just like, "Congratulations." And I'm like, whoa, you nailed that.
He's carrying this show. Oh,
best casting of anything I've ever seen. That guy, if he doesn't have body parts in his freezer, I don't know what he's doing. He's an incredible actor.
Oh my god, Dan Blackroyd, bang bang. G'day, Dan Blackroyd. Mike killed someone and he needs to shovel a person. No, he's still. We'll just leave Mike alone. He has to sort himself out a little bit with this sex scene. It was a bit more spicier than he thinks it would be.
He's got to clean up the walls.
I'm seeing a lot of ones. Chat just jumped on me a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I see a lot of ones.
Someone said twins.
Wow.
Yeah, because then you could even do like a time jump and you could have them one good, one evil twins.
Yeah, one goes UNSC, one goes Covenant.
Yeah, and they could just invent something. Oh, well, the Covenant have technology that can grow babies to adulthood really fast. So they could easily do that.
What if one of them's called Phil? Because Phil Vidam is one of a very important Halo character that's yet to make an appearance. One's called Phil and one's called Avery. There you go. Pregnant.
Anyone who's important, they will steal. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, well, Atriox.
They'll just steal the name.
Like Atriox. Yep. Pregnant means they don't need to bang again unless for storyline. Maybe Cheeks likes pregnant women.
Yeah, they could easily do it, especially if they do like the Covenant want the baby, because it might be another. Well, it's from two blessed ones, and it's genetic, so it makes sense that those children would be blessed ones. So the Covenant could easily not only care about the baby, but get them to term quicker or something. There's a lot of ways they could do it with just sci-fi magic.
Jeez. Halo Season 2 Master Cheeks, deadbeat dad. Just does a runner. Oh my god.
He comes up to child support after wiping out Reach.
Cortana, tell him I'm sick. Mike Hill with a 5 super chat. Mike, thank you very much. Apparently, all of the UNSC forgot that Quan ever existed. They forgot Quan existed, and they forgot Chief went fucking rogue in the first episode, and they're letting him hang out with fucking Covenant spies on Reach. They let him bring a Covenant spy back to Reach, one of the most important planets.
The only punishment he ever got for that was he sat in a cell for a bit and spoke to Halsey, and then was free. That was it.
Good God. Blabs is here. I want bacon. We can't give you bacon, but we can give you cheeks. Plenty of cheeks here. Jared, hello. Jared, how you doing, sir? Now, we argued about this the other week. Does this count as a threesome?
Yes. I think it does. Because it's voyeuristic. She was in the room at the same time. Like,
she was in his body.
Yeah. Yeah. She was watching and taking part. Because you don't know, like, she could do anything to his brain to, like, make it better or worse, last longer or quit. Like, if she was really disappointed and sad, she could be like, you're only going to last 5 seconds.
That's exactly what we said. We were saying about Lady Greymaster was kind of in the fetal position, rocking back and forth, listening to us. And we're like, she could edge him. She could shut him down if he's getting too close. She could, make some blood from other parts of his body rush up, squeeze an extra inch or two. She could do quite a bit in this situation. She could be a full-on bro.
How sad she looks in this, I think she'd be doing all the other stuff. She'd be like, no, like, immediately. Like, she's going to sabotage that. That she was not happy.
We'll get to that image. That's full on. But anyway, thank you for being here, boys and girls. Disparu, thank you for popping on, sir. Now, real quick, what did you think of this episode overall? Apart from everything that we just went over. Because we're getting
the thing was, there were lots of things about the fight at the end that I liked, but he should have been in his armor for any of it to make sense. So I was watching that fight thinking, this is quite cool. Like when Cortana hacks the car and drives the other Spartan into the pillar. Yep. I liked all that kind of stuff, but I kept thinking, this guy is dead. Over and over and over again. If they just put him in the armor, I think that scene would have been great, and I would have really liked it. The rest of the stuff, it's just another episode trapped in the headquarters, which is incredibly boring and doesn't move this. I think actually we haven't moved the plot on since the end of the first episode. We've still got the same thing. We've learned the names of a couple of stuff, but apart from that, I don't think anyone's really done anything. Like, we're not close to the Halo ring at all. Apart from knowing the Halo exists, I think that's the only plot point that's actually developed. And it just feels like they needed to have written some episodes of television, because I don't think they have. There's been a lot of talking, but someone described it as a soap opera. That's how it feels.
It definitely is a soap opera. This is episode 8, and I think the vast majority of this episode of this season hasn't even had aliens covenant in it.
Yes. Yeah. Nearly every episode has just been at the headquarters on the base. That's it. Like, they really got the use out of these sets.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's so bad. But let's jump into it. So the episode starts with a half-naked Master Cheeks again, because why the fuck not?
I mean, let's face it, we were lucky that this was it. Because they filmed this again without that towel. And they're like, no, we probably can't do it twice. They know what's coming this time.
Yeah. We can't give you a butt cheek scene and a fucking sex scene. Yeah,
you know what this scene is? Banged. I think this is the same stuff that they recorded for the previous episode. They've just put it in again.
Maybe, but do you know what I found really bizarre was where is it? His face, the shot of his face. That sums up the whole episode right there in that one image.
There is a lot of like really creepily close, like close-ups all over this series. And, like, you're invading their personal space. You never should be that close to someone's face.
What the fuck is this, dude? This is actually I'm going to say it. This is actually my favorite episode so far because of how fucked it is.
Oh, no, I like that. Everything. I like that. You know what that means? Mars is wrong.
Oh, shit. Yeah, let's go. Mars is wrong.
That's a nice side benefit.
And then we get back to Mackie. It's her name Marky. I still can't pronounce her name right.
I've been calling her Mickey, to be honest. I don't even know.
Mickey, Marky. Oh, God.
I did like someone as well that, like, because we've commented on her hair before and how did she get it? And then someone pointed out that the Covenant are all bald. So it makes even less sense that they know anything about hair at all.
Yeah, they're either all bald or they're like apes, like brutes. So it's either like full, hair everywhere.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have like razors and shit like that.
Yeah, and look at her hair. It's like on the top is even like coming down to a point and everything. That's been deliberately styled.
Wait a minute, you're right. They wouldn't have like hair care products like we would and shit like that.
No.
So...
And they could have easily got around this. If she just had long hair, you'd be like, well, no one looked after it. It's just like cut a bit. But that is like you can even see, right? You can see the different layers built into her hair and everything. That a lot of attention has been put into that hairstyle.
My God, I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have like skincare and shit. Like they wouldn't have like cream and lotions and all that over there.
And there's no way you're telling me she did that to herself because that's around the back of her head. So she should become an expert hairdresser that can put layers into the back of her own face. It's like, no.
Holy shit, you're right. That's bizarre. Yeah, so I never even thought of that. So Cheeks goes to visit her and he's all like, we're totally going to bang soon. And she's like, yeah, we definitely are. Now, this whole thing was right from the jump was stupid. The fact that they're even letting her walk around amongst like military and in public and stuff like that. For all, like we said this before, for all they know, she's got space Ebola or fucking there's a bomb pumped into her. They're very trusting to a covenant prisoner is what she told them she was. And they're all very suspicious of her. But they let her just walk around amidst military. Like, could you imagine if she just detonated now and blew up?
Yeah, because this is a military base, right? This isn't just like a colony. This is all military.
Yeah, well, the planet Reach, I don't know on the Silver Timeline, but in the planet Reach, it's like Earth's the most important, obviously, because that's home. And then Reach is number 2 because of resources, and there's just so much military shit here. So, like, when Reach fell in, like, Halo lore, that was pretty much like, yeah, we've lost.
And the way she was found, it was so suspicious. This isn't like, oh, well, she might be a spy. This would be, I'm assuming you're a spy because you're so suspicious and you might be innocent. It's the entire other way around. And this is just actually, oh, no, we all forgive her. Why? Well, he's with her.
And the other thing as well was when Reach fell, it was pretty much towards the end of the war. And it was like, everyone regroup on Reach and we're going to sort our shit out because there was so much shit on Reach, like, all Spartans and like everyone just regrouped there when it fell as well. So, and we've seen that there's like Admiral Hood is here. They got the whole UNSC board here as well. So if she was to just and spread her Covenant diseases everywhere, maybe she's got Covenant AIDS and she just gave it to John.
I don't know how she would have got that unless she's been with the Covenant.
Well, she seemed to get to a high position pretty quickly. Maybe
the
Prophet of Truth is on some Weinstein.
And they did watch her change a lot. That was weird. Like going around to a room to watch her change clothes.
So yeah, she's like walking around with them out in like the... Oh, this part right here. I got to talk about this. I'm so glad this paused here. Planet Reach City. What the fuck? Why didn't they just call it New Alexandria? Because that's actually a city.
Because I don't think they know.
Sorry?
I don't think they know. I think it's just, oh, well, they probably need, because the thing is, this is the same place that it was before the introduction. So you didn't need to say where you were anyway, because it's the same place. And I reckon there was just in post, someone was like, Planet Reach City, yeah, that'll do. And I just don't think they care.
Do you remember in the other episode when he took the chip out of his ass and he was walking around and he saw the dog and all that type of stuff?
Yeah.
They didn't say like any location in that one, did they?
Several times. When quite often when they've come to these headquarters, they've said Planet Reach something. I just never read it.
They never said Reach City though. I might have to fucking double check that because that.
Well,
really stood out to
normally
me.
when they do that, it references the headquarters. I think. They've not really been in the city before. And there's so many callbacks. Like in that, there was one where she hesitates going on the train, and that's supposed to remind you of earlier on when he took that pill out. And he was hesitant to go on the train, and you're supposed to think, oh, they really are the same. Like, you're doing callbacks to a show nobody cares about. Like,
you're doing callbacks to something that was 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, it's like callbacks are good if people like it and it means something, but you're doing stuff to a show nobody cares about and an event no one even bothered.
Because getting on a train is such an important part for memory.
Yeah.
Now, right off the bat here, so we have Halsey and creepy, rapey scientist guy. Little do we know at this stage in the story, she's actually plotting to full-on take over. She's going to go... She goes Palpatine in this shit. In this episode, she basically has an Execute Order 66 moment where she just takes control. It's pretty fucking munted right off the bat there, man. And
I don't even understand how that happened either, because, like, the military... How did you train these people without the military realizing? Because she executed if it's a legitimate protocol. And it's like, well, why would the military allow a civilian to take over? And even if you were the military unit, why would you allow the civilians to take over? That doesn't make any sense either. It's like, oh.
The whole thing was stupid as well. Like, I will give them some credit. In the first episode, they do kind of show that. But that was more of like a, we're not prepared to throw Chief under the bus because he might be right. But then in this episode, it's like, Halsey said do it, so we're going to do it.
Yeah. I think they should have made it so that they were loyal to Halsey, rather than her coming up with like some stupid reason that doesn't really make sense. They should have just got it. It's like, I've trained you. this is built into you, that you trust me more than anyone else.
Yeah, it's fucking bizarro, eh? So yeah, she's walking around the city, interacting. I don't know why they'd fucking let this happen. Under what circumstances? How shit is your fucking protocols where you let this just walk around?
Yeah.
With this guy as well that you're also suspicious of.
And they've not
So
even like
stupid.
scanned her for technology or something because they haven't detected the thing in her finger.
If they put her through an X-ray machine, that
Yeah,
laser,
metal.
the energy sword in her finger, would have popped out straight away. And something that I want to mention is what I'm fucking. It just popped up here. It just popped up here. She pulled out the fucking energy finger in the last episode or the 6th episode.
Yeah, and that woman saw it. And I even freeze framed it where she's clearly looking at her when she's got the energy blade. And in this, it happens as well. A dog scares her and it like pops out. And like, nobody saw that either, really?
Man, pretty much Cheeks is like the only person at the stage that hasn't seen it. But lots of people have seen it. In the 6th episode, how the fuck did that not get reported? Because they would have already been onto it because, okay, both Cheeks and this chick are having a freak out when one of them touched the toilet seat. They both had a mental spasm and her energy finger popped out. Her coke nail popped out. And not one person went, yo, did anyone of you see that shit? What's up with that?
Well, that's why I
dumb.
freeze framed on it because I thought, well, people were like, well, she didn't see it. But they made a camera edit photo of her staring at her when she's been like waved at and stuff. It's, I don't know. They directly, I don't think they care enough about their show either, so they don't watch it back. And they're like, I'm not watching that trash. So they don't even know what they've done.
I think you're right. I think they don't even go back and rewatch it. Subhuman, sup? Thank you very much for being here, Subhuman. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. And by the way, I last night went looking through Pablo Schreiber's Twitter because normally he like talks after every episode.
Oh yeah.
Not a fucking word about this one.
What was he gonna say? He was like, I had a great time. Really enjoyed myself.
I would have just put the sweat emoji or some shit. But not a single word.
Just an eggplant. That's it.
Not a single word on this one. Found that interesting. And he's not even hyping up the next episode, which is the season finale.
You should be making so much noise about that. That's what everything is supposed to have been building up to. That's presumably where a lot of your budget went. And no, it's just silence. The thing is, if you've seen your viewing ratings do this, you're not going to be very excited about the finale.
Did you see that bullshit where they were trying to say it's a global hit?
Yes. A lot of this marketing is just like perception is reality. If we tell you it's amazing, then maybe you'll go and watch it because you think everyone else is. I think that's what they're hoping for.
But the thing is with their Paramount Plus is there's like fuck all original series on it. Like if this came last, it still would have been top 3 or some shit. So there you go. They were never gonna. From that point of view, they could never fail. It was always going to be one of their top hits. But to say it's a global fucking sensation, I don't know about that, man. I don't think. Show me the numbers. Show me the numbers.
Wheel of Time did something similar. They said this has been our highest premiere ever, which was then beat by The Reacher. Then they started going to our highest first 3 episodes because they were all shown at the same time, so people just binged them. And then when it got to the finale, they still said, this is the show with our highest premiere. And I'm like, yeah, so you're not bragging about anything else in the series. You're still going back to the start of it.
They did a very similar thing on Netflix with Cowboy Bebop. They were like, Cowboy Bebop had one of the biggest openings in Netflix history. Yeah, and one of the biggest drops going into episode 2 because everyone watched the first episode and said, fuck this.
Yeah. And if you drop 3 episodes of like Wheel of Time, people are like, well, okay, I'll give it the 3 episodes and then see, and just never came back. The moment they had to wait a week. At the end of the day, if their viewing figures were so amazing, they'd show them.
Yeah,
the very fact you're hiding them is suspicious.
Yeah, if you had crazy ass numbers, you'd be flexing that shit every day. Going, look what we got, man. We're pulling in millions.
You see the same thing in game sales. They don't tell you how many it is, and then suddenly we've got 35 million users. It's like, yeah, okay, only because it's good.
Cough. Last of Us 2. They still haven't shown us the sales numbers for that game.
Well, that'd be all the sales as well that went into the stores, not that got sold. And we've all seen those like walls of Last of Us 2 that were never sold.
The old comic book sales list. We sold so many copies. Yeah, you sold them to the shop. They're still on the shelves.
Yeah.
That's what happened. All right, so here we have Cheeks and Mackie. She's already given him the fuck me eyes. Like, I think everyone thought they were going to bang in this episode, but we're all sitting there going, no.
I think she would have done it right here, because there's a bit in this where they like share a look, and she walks towards him, and he only stops because he looks over to the soldier on his left, and then he's like, "We should probably go somewhere private."
And why would you let that happen? If you were a soldier and you're like supposed to be walking around watching him, why the fuck would you let them just walk off? Why isn't her clothes bugged? You should just be keeping full surveillance over this chick 24/7. Again, for all you know, she's got space AIDS. She's just going to blow up or some shit. But nah, fuck that. And we get this as well. I want your penis.
He kind of looks like he's taken something.
This show, I swear, has the best still frames ever. You could do a review of this show just by the still frames. Go see that facial expression? Sums it up fucking perfectly, man. And yeah, she certainly looks like Foreskin from Gronk 4 TV, doesn't she? It's beyond ridiculous. This is the best episode. This is my favorite episode so far because this is the it's not so bad, it's good. This is the so bad, I can't believe it's real. That's where we're at with this shit. Yeah. And they keep going back and forth for facial shots. Okay, now I do actually like this part. Showing the aftermath. Cool. Yeah. I do actually like this part. Showing the aftermath of the glassing.
I don't understand why the soldiers are like crying and stuff though. Because they're acting as if this is the first time it's ever happened. So I can only assume that it is. Because the response in that they don't know what to do. They're like, should we send the fleet in? Should we not send the fleet in? They're discussing it. So it's not like this is a regular occurrence or they've done something before and have got procedures from it. And everyone's so amazed that it's happened and upset that it's happened.
Yeah, and what's weird with that is as they're talking about it, Jacob's like, nah, this is Cole Protocol, which is an actual thing.
Which they've never said in the series before.
No, they have said it once.
Oh, yeah, but it's never been described what it is.
No, that's such the weird thing about this show is it's its own timeline, but it expects you to know what these things are.
Yeah.
Like when they say Cole Protocol, I'm like, fair enough. That makes sense to me, but to you, you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. They need to decide. And either way, even if it was in canon in the games, I would still expect the TV show to explain everything. Because there's going to be loads of people that watch a TV show that have never played the games and never will. So it has to stand on its own. And you can't just use things like that and it's, oh, well, they'll go and Google it. It'll be fine. Because I actually thought they were saying cold protocol, which even makes sense even when you know it is. Yeah, it was only when I Googled it and it like auto-corrected me.
Yeah, that's fucking bizarro, man. So basically, he just put it in for me. Cole Protocol is where they purposely try to jump to different places in the galaxy so the Covenant can't detect them. It's like if they're being chased by the Covenant or a Covenant ship's boarded them or some shit, they will wipe all data on their ship, like just burn it so they can't access it. And they'll just do a random jump away from specifically Earth and away from wherever there's like UNSC colonies. So we just be like, all right, we're about to die. We're being chased by the Covenant. We're fucked. We got to do a runner. We can't go that way because that's ways home. We're just going to lead them there. So we're going to go that way and see what happens.
And do they never go back? Or is it like after a certain amount of time they can?
If they're no longer being chased. Normally, it's like you're fucked.
Yeah,
normally it's like you're dead.
It's because I read that the Covenant can track like where they're traveling. I just wondered whether they could track it forever kind of thing or whether they could like wait.
When they in Combat Evolved, they're leaving Reach after Reach got fucked up and they do a random jump and that's how they find Halo. Because like remember you and me were messaging, we were going saying like you're saying like does the UNSC know what a Halo is? And I'm like, nah, they found it by accident.
I mean, the odds of that though, you jump to a random place in space and find a Halo ring. That seems a bit.
Well, they also had like some Forerunner like type coordinates with them as well, but it was pretty random. It was pretty random, and it was a very heat of the moment type thing as well. But the whole point of that was supposed to be UNSC like they find the Halo ring, go, what the fuck are we looking at? Like, what is that? I don't know what this is. And the Covenant are like, holy shit, we found it. So then that happens. It's pretty fucking bizarro, man. If anything, I think the closest thing that this show is based off is actually the Cole Protocol book. It's probably the closest thing it's based off. And that's still a pretty fucking big leap. D-Day Dial for the 5 through super chat. Thank you, sir. Girl who clapped cheeks is actually hot in a vastly superior show called The Last Kingdom. Oh, no shit. She in Last Kingdom. I've heard that show's pretty good. Isn't Mark Hamill in that show as well? Huh.
Yeah, I think I heard that it was really good, and then the last couple of series lost it, but I haven't seen it.
Bastards. And yeah, we Googled her the other day, and she is actually a decent looking woman. Yeah, so anyway, there's some glassing going on here, and everyone's having a breakdown except for Jacob, who seems to be the only person who's a bit in control at the moment. He's just saying, cut the feed, because everyone's minging out and all that type of stuff. Now, this is the part that was in the promo for this episode. When they're talking about it. This thing was amazing for all the wrong reasons. Like, you can't trust her, Chief. You can't trust someone who's been indoctrinated for decades to suddenly break their conditioning. I did.
Yeah. In more ways than one, you know. He proved he can break it after 30 seconds of banging.
Yeah. All it takes was some dick. Human power, let's go.
That Spartan stamina, that's what it is.
Fucking oath.
Every other parts of him's been enhanced. We don't know what they're doing.
And he was saying in this part, he's like, oh, I bet she's human. We can turn her back. She's one of us. And throughout the episode, he actually kind of does, up until Halsey goes full prophet of truth. And then they start hating. Oh my God, she's here.
I mean, if anything, though, he's not really convinced her. She's just flipping back and forth. It's like she's got no principles and no loyalty. It's not like she needs much convincing. She's just, whoever she last spoke to is the side she's on, essentially.
She's horny.
Yeah, well, it's understandable after this long.
She's never seen another human male before in a non-rapey context.
I think she actually said they were disgusting, though, in an earlier episode.
Yes, because they were all.
She doesn't consider herself human.
No, well, because remember when she was like stolen or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mudcrab. And she was reading that book that he gives her in this episode. But like, she's never viewed males as anything outside of like, in a rapey context.
Better hop on that dick real quick.
Like, this is such a... I feel like we are missing episodes. That's how just garbled this whole thing has been. It genuinely feels like there's actual episodes missing because her character goes through like these massive, what should be huge character arc changes, like arcs and personal decisions and changes overall, like to her fundamental personality, which should take a few episodes at least. But in this one, she's just, I don't know, the power of the D compels her, I guess. I have no idea.
That's understandable. But that's the thing. Cortana has the same thing. Cortana was evil, and then in this, it's like, oh, I'm on your side now. It's like, why? And I said that, you know, most things have cause and effect. In this, it's effect. Why? Feelings. That's the grand total of the plot.
Feelings. Everybody's got feelings. I was honest to God waiting for like a musical number to break out in this episode.
Hey, we might get that on Wheel of Time.
Oh, God.
Hey, they asked him for a crossover, and he said, the musical episode from Buffy is the crossover he wants. That's from Rafe Judkins.
Yep. Nope. No. I mean, they've already killed. So Amazon's Wheel of Time is dead. Jordan's Wheel of Time is fine. It's sitting over here in the books, left alone, waiting to be adapted. I don't know. Amazon's pissing on their own corpse. That's what I've gathered at this point in time. Like, they're just pissing into the wind and all over themselves and their corpse. Like that.
Leiji, we got 2 questions right off the bat. One, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You remember that tweet that I screenshot and sent you?
Yes.
And I was like, how does this have over 6,000 likes?
Yep.
It's now almost at 9,000 likes, and all I said was they're lying.
I'll bring it up now.
I was like,
Okay.
but it was from GameSpot, and they were like, Paramount says that Halo is a worldwide hit. And I was like, they're lying. All 2 words. And I think this is the most likes on a tweet I have ever gotten. Ever. And I messaged it to you, and I was like, I don't understand why this has over 6,000 likes. I didn't do anything transformative with it. I just literally said the truth. And you were like, because it's true and people know it. Oh, but there's some shills in the comments. I was reading the comments just for S and G's.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, there are some people who are like legit deranged. They're like, you just can't appreciate how much passion is going into Paramount projects.
Well, some passion went into Mackie.
They're like, just because it's not exactly like the games doesn't mean it's bad. And I'm like, no, that's what it means.
Yep.
Holy shit. Okay, so the second question I'm going to ask you is, you know, we've often asked you how you think of the butt cheek shots in each episode. We went above and beyond in this one.
I told you that I was like, man, do you guys remember this? It was like whenever the episode he dug the freaking pill out, episode 2 or whatever, episode 3.
Yeah.
I told you, I was like, in the military, there's something called the peanut butter shot, and it goes in your ass. And it is to curb basically hormonal desires.
Yeah, I googled that, and everyone's like, no, that's a myth, Because it's supposed to be like penicillin or something. It's weird. Oh,
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Penicillin does not make your ass. The reason it's nicknamed the peanut butter shot is because it makes your ass feel like peanut butter.
8,000.
Yeah, and the actual stuff that goes in as a consistency of it, it's weird. It's such a strange thing.
So what did you think of the sex scene? Let's just jump right into it.
Dude, what's with their faces? Like, you'd think after all this, like, this apparent of, like, yearning for each other because they didn't even get physically sent up to the Halo ring. They were, like, mentally transported up there.
It was VR.
Yeah, like, so, you know, you'd think after this longing that they have apparently had because of being on the Halo ring together, that they would be looking forward to Bounce Chicka Wow Wow. And it's they look like they're in pain. Both of them look like they're in pain. It's also super cringe. And
To be fair, they did just lose their virginity. They didn't know what they were doing with each other.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know how long that pill's been in Chief's butt, so I guess it's possible. But she seems to have had at least some experience with, like,
Only
women.
with the Covenant.
So I'm right. The high prophet of truth is Weinstein.
It must be. Yeah, that's why he kept going to a bedroom all the time.
It gotta be. Like, I just... It bothers me for so many reasons, but I think the biggest one is, like, we've had no... Outside of their, as Disbrew calls it, their VR encounter on the Halo ring, there's, like, no reason these two should be all over each other.
Yeah.
There's no establishment of, like, it's not like they were kids and knew each other when they were kids and, like, these memories are flooding back now and they're finding each other again or anything like that. It's just the whole thing makes absolutely no sense. We are like, it's like we've been in this can on base for so long, and I don't know, maybe this is just like pent up sexual aggression because Chief hasn't been able to get out since episode 1. I have no idea. Well, I guess he technically went to the floating asteroid. But
My favorite line from that scene is where he goes, "Here's the book. It's not your want, but we've got more." I'm like, what on earth do you think she's doing with that book that she's going to need multiple copies of it? It's like, you're going to have to wipe this one off. We'll give you a new one.
And we'll get to it, but Lady G. Cortana watching.
dude, why? So she can manifest herself whenever she wants. And she chose to manifest right then? Also, she's already in his brain, so like, couldn't she see through his eyes? I'm so confused. Like,
And
why
she'd
did
be
she...
feeling all of it. And she looked miserable, so it can't have been very good.
This is so good.
I'm so confused. All I have to say is I was right. The pill in the ass was literally to keep them from banging it out like every 10 seconds. Because if you think about it, the Spartans, they do all the dangerous shit. They don't know if they're gonna survive. So they'd be like James Bond in it. They'd be like, let me get the beautiful women, let me get the handsome men, and we'll just bang it out. And then if I die, I'm sated. I'm good.
So that pill was essentially to stop them squirting themselves inside out.
Pretty much. I told, like, first of all, okay. Yes, the peanut butter shot is real. Yes, it prevents you from, like, my husband went through boot camp and all of his friends, and they all said the same thing. After they got the peanut butter shot, they did not get morning wood for 5 months.
Yeah, there's a load of people that were saying that was because you're in a new environment and you're stressed and tired and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, but it's a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah, that would be the odds of every
exactly,
single...
yeah.
Do you know how many male recruits are in a Marine Corps boot camp between East Coast and West? So now females train at both, but it used to be when I went through that females only trained at Parris Island. So you had males on Parris Island and you had males at MCRD San Diego. Between the two recruit depots, you have over 3,000 males a day going through training. Wow. There's no way that all 3,000 to 5,000 of them are going to experience stress in the exact same way and have that be one of the side effects. In fact, like studies have shown that to relieve stress, a lot of dudes will whack one off.
No shit. You don't need a scientific discovery for that.
I'm not a dude. I'm not a dude.
That's like saying the world's round. No shit.
Hey, there's a scientific study for that too. I'm just saying all these basic things. But I'm not gonna ask you gentlemen how you deal with stress because that would be embarrassing. We've seen how Chief deals with stress after he's got his pill taken out of his ass. So like this whole thing was just absolutely ridiculous, especially the fight at the end when Chief is not in his armor at all. Like,
yeah, he should have had his face destroyed in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want an idea, one of the first comments I got was, if all it takes is a book, I'd buy a library. So,
and the other question, is she pregnant?
Oh.
I reckon she's pregnant.
Yeah, probably.
We'll see,
okay.
though.
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. This show is like 10 different sides of cringe, so I don't know if they would do that or not. But if they did do it, she'd probably go take the energy sword that was somehow in her fingertip that no one in the UNSC noticed.
Except for when she pulled it out right in front of that dude in the last episode.
Yeah, until she pulls it out of her finger. I still don't understand what that was about at all. Like,
she put that up his butt, up Cheek's butt.
Well, God, it's an open... Well, that's what I thought, because no matter what she did with that, it could, like, pop out accidentally. Like, she just turns wrong, and next thing, it's a serious injury.
Yep. I'm just...
And nobody questions the big gaping wound afterwards. It's like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah, like, that was the thing. It's like, she's got this... her finger is clearly injured, like, a significant injury. And it's just like with... Yeah, like, and then it's just like, not Kelly, like, I just freaking gun grease chick, that's what I'm gonna call her from now on.
That's what I've always called her.
God, gun grease chick, like, she's got a gaping, like, again, void of emotion does not mean stupid or lack of attention to detail. If anything, you are the opposite. You are more detail oriented and you focus more on those types of things. These people are like, just, they've lost their freaking minds, and they've clearly never watched a single episode of Good Trek, where you've got freaking Spock is a perfect example of what you should have modeled your Spartans after. Highly detail oriented, extremely intelligent, driven, focused, capable. What the I don't know what I'm looking at right now, but it feels like someone. I don't know if you guys have ever spoken to a dude who got like rejected from a frat house or kicked out of a frat house, but that's the feeling I get from Master Cheeks.
The show is essentially pushing the message that emotions are your strength and logic and rational thought are bad because they just make you easily manipulated. Which is, if anything, the exact opposite of reality.
Yep. Also the exact opposite of what we are seeing, because like I realized the first episode was a long time ago, but we're gonna go back to that, and he still had the pill in his ass. He didn't have Cortana downloaded. He didn't know anything about anyone. The only thing he'd done is touch the magic toilet seat, right? And somehow, her simply asking, "You always follow orders?" like, makes him start questioning everything. It makes no sense. Like, I
think that's meant to be the memory, because it speaks about it a bit in this. The memories it was giving him, like, it showed me hope and a possible future. I think that's what that was meant to be. So he was having his memories of a better time, which helped kickstart his emotions, even when the pill was there, I think.
I think you're giving the writers too much credit.
That kind of ties in with what you're saying.
They don't deserve any.
With this scene as well. Like, I feel like in this scene right here, where she's like making money because Spartans need money. So like the UNSC just goes, here, take care of it, you fucking next, go kill guns for us.
Outside of the cringe sex, this was probably the worst, stupidest, most ridiculous scene in this entire freaking episode.
I mean, this was the one with the cheek shot as well.
Oh, okay. We'll look for it. We'll look for that. Is this not another obvious sign that she's taken her pill out of her ass? Because how many Spartans do you see doing this?
And like when she gets detected that the pill's out there, it's like, well, she's in the Spartan armor. The Spartan armor detected it. Okay, I can get behind that. So why in that last battle scene that we had, when she was in her Spartan armor and Master Chief realized that she had a pill out, and Halsey was there in her ship, why didn't the alert pop up then?
Because the script didn't need it to.
Oh, that would have been my thumbnail.
Oh my god.
So basically, chat, what she's doing here is she is gambling with just random soldiers. They're saying, hey, you're a Spartan, how much can you lift? And they've got like a pulley system, and she's just lifting everything, and she's making money off that. Now she's like, pay up! What is she going to do with money? She has no concept of money. A few episodes ago, Cheeks didn't even know how the fuck to get on a train because all he does is fight aliens and shit. What is she going to do with money? What possible use does she have for money?
She's going to get more gun grease.
Buy a fucking car?
She's going to get more gun grease and dye her hair even pinker.
Yeah, at this point, it's been like months she's been doing that. If the army are just going to allow her to dye her hair, because she walks around the military base with it, just give her hair dye. Just stop her using the gong stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. You think someone just walk up to her and go, look, sweetheart, here you go, pick your color. But
yeah, it's
allowed
how it isn't.
Mm-hmm. The women's hair, the more I watch of this show, I think the only woman whose hair doesn't bug me is Halsey's. But like all the rest of them, like not Miranda,
Look at that guy in the back. He's looking at her ass.
Yeah, he is. The one doing that.
Yeah.
He's like, that was some of them Spartan cheeks. Looking like a double white surprise. God damn. Anyway, sorry, Lady G, for being
it's fine.
rude.
I'm a woman. We care about different things. It's all right. I've accepted it. You like looking at guys who are staring at other women's asses.
Well, I mean, look at him. He's definitely looking at his
I want that
ass.
on my gravestone.
There's the lack of attention to detail. Even if this wasn't a Halo show and this was just like a sci-fi military show, right? A sci-fi military show. The lack of attention to detail for military standards in this show is inexcusable. Like, when I watch stuff like Top Gun, which I'm so excited for Top Gun 2, but I digress. When I watch stuff like Top Gun, I'm like, okay, I actually worked on jets. I know for a fact that that's not how that works. That mask is incorrect. The hose is wrong. The MBU is sitting improperly. The visor is incorrect. Like, I go through that stuff, right? But they still made a concerted effort, right? if it had been 30 years earlier, that equipment would have been correct. So what bothers me is
Jesus Christ.
the fact that this is 10 million in 10 to 13 million an episode for this show. And you can't make it look and feel like an actual military base in space. Like,
I mean,
for
it
space,
can't be hard to get a veteran on to advise them about this stuff as well.
no, it can't be. But yet here we are. Gun Grease paints blonde hair pink. If anything, it would turn that shit green. And I don't mean like the chameleon green that the SJW harpies get. I mean like puke green. It would not be good. I don't understand. It bothers me. Chief's face bothers me. It looks like his expressions go from blank to like he got hit in the head with a frying pan and he's slightly annoyed.
Can you even imagine what he's just like? He
G'day, Bashy.
delivers all his lines exactly the same. It would just be like, yes, like that. Keep going. Don't stop. I'm almost there.
Nearly. Mission accomplished.
That's some good stuff.
Oh my god. But no, we get a horrific pan out and a very like Cortana is self-aware, so she knows she's AI. So why is she sad that Chief is banging a woman? Because she's not real. Like she can manifest.
Watch.
I think they're trying to set up the fact that she's like in love with him or something. I think that's where they're going.
Yeah. Oh no, 1000%.
So
Cortana is in love with.
So bizarre, man.
Also,
remember when they introduce her in this one? And they're like, "All right, download all the fucking human history. Yeah, cool, whatever. You know that makes sense." And then she's like, "Oh, what am I going to do for the rest of the time?" It's like, so clearly she knows how humans reproduce and shit. And yet she's just watching them fuck, and she's just staring. It's so fucking bizarre, man.
She's probably recording about it.
Oh god, like I don't know. This whole episode, everybody seemed to be obsessed with their like reflection or themselves. Like I swear to God, Chief stares in a mirror for like a third of this episode.
I actually really like this scene as well. This scene is like supposed to be her being really intelligent. Thickest person I've ever seen. Like this entire, like she can't translate it because the person speaks with an accent, and somehow that alters the frequency of and so because she doesn't have enough of the high tones, can't be translated. Then at the end, it shows you the message getting translated. It's still in an alien language. The only difference is now they can actually hear her voice rather than it being garbled. So they didn't even mean translated. They meant like clean up the static or interference. But they don't even know those terms.
Can do with
translation.
Audacity. All you need is Audacity, and someone could probably break it down.
Noise reduction.
That was
noise reduction. Highlight all noise reduction. Oh shit, it's her.
Like the thing is, okay, so you nailed it on the head, just because you're speaking English, I'm speaking English, and Lethal is speaking English, and none of us sound the same. Lethal sounds very Australian. You sound very, very UK, and I sound like a weird jumble of Midwest and Southern. But we're all speaking English, and we can all understand each other. Your accent does not prevent me from understanding what you're saying.
Yeah, because they don't mean translate. They mean clean up the interference. They just don't even know the terms that they're using. It's ridiculous.
This fucking show, man.
Because when they say it's translated, it's still in an alien language.
Yeah, they're still speaking Sangheili. It's not like all of a sudden it's translated to English and she's saying, "Yeah, kill everyone on the ship. My name is Mackie,
which is
and
why
I'm gonna fuck cheeks later." That is highly offensive.
I wish it had been, and then we could have just been like, "All right, cool. We have access to plot." Does anybody feel like we've gotten we've gotten like 7.5 episodes of just filler? Because that's what I feel like.
Yes, I don't feel like the plot has moved on since the end of the first episode at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like Disparu said, like the first episode's really been the first episode, and maybe the fifth, because that shows the Covenant getting the second toilet seat. So maybe that being generous, but really it's only been the first.
Yeah, but at the end of that episode, we end at this end of the first one because the humans haven't actually. Nothing's happened. The Covenant
Yeah.
may have done something, but that hasn't affected the plot at all. They haven't done anything with that.
Yeah,
So
they haven't
as far as the
tracked it
humans are
down
concerned,
yet.
they haven't moved.
And this is the first time, like, this is the fact that they have. I feel like the beginning of this episode, like, why haven't we seen the Covenant glass anybody before now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Disparu brought that up.
Yeah. That should have been
Like-
in the first one, so that
Yeah.
you knew that. Because before that, it looked like they were just sending in little surgical teams to planets, and they were quite nice.
Yeah, like almost like reconnaissance or recovery teams, where they have to
Yeah,
be small, quiet, agile, in and out really quick.
Yeah, it looked like they were going for a device, and when they found the device, they left.
Mhm.
And the only time they'd fight the humans is if the humans started to fight them for that device. It's like they didn't
Yeah.
care if they killed the humans, but they weren't specifically going there to do it.
And then
Oh,
in this one, I think
He
what
tells
they
her how
were
amazing
going
she is as
for.
well.
I think what they were going for was like, because you see everybody's like shock and horror and disbelief, and they're like the Covenant, and they're glassing. Like, I think that was supposed to be like a really heavy moment.
This show
But-
is so fucking bad.
I
It
think it's the
didn't.
first time it's happened. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're all
like
they have no procedures for it or anything. They don't know what to do. Should we send rescue ships in? Should we not? That would
Oh,
all
yeah,
be
that was the-
standardized if it's happened more than
that was
once.
the dumbest conversation ever. And then they're gonna make him the bad guy. Like, no, he has a point. That there's no survivors.
Well, actually, in this, it's later on. But there's a really bad part where he's involved with Halsey, and she's like, "It's our secret." I'm like, she's completely right. He's just as guilty as she is. But he's like, "No, it's not me. It's everything around me. It's the system." It's like
Yeah.
he doesn't even take any responsibility for his own actions at all.
Did anybody else get like cringe institutional racism stuff? Like,
Yes.
the reason that everything is like this is because I was set up for failure because of the system. The system is racist.
what
Society
part?
made me do it.
Oh yeah. That was pretty on the nose a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
But-
I'm trying to comprehend how this is the same company that gave us the best video game adaptation films. I mean, say what you will, but Sonic and Sonic 2 are the best video game adaptations I've ever seen. And I even like the first Resident Evil movie. But how is it that they made Sonic and listened to the fans, and they also made Yellowstone?
I
And
haven't
yet-
seen that.
Yellowstone? Oh, it's
Oh.
freaking fantastic. You should.
This is
But-
the
Oh,
part.
this is weird. Like, can Chief do this? Command someone to leave his post, and then no one comes back to replace him throughout the entire night? How long is this guy's shift?
No, that's not how that works.
Ah. But this
like-
black guy here, he's the only one. This episode and the last episode he was in, he is the only guy that seems to think rationally in this whole show.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, because when Halsey's talking to her, this guy comes in, he goes, "Who are you talking to?" He looks around the room for 4 seconds, walks outside the door and stands there, and Halsey just comes back and starts talking again, and he doesn't care.
Was that him? Is that the same guy?
I think so.
Just for saying they all look alike.
Well, I think
I
they
might
have
be
the
saying
same
that
guy on the
actually.
door.
I might be saying that actually, depending if it's him or not.
No, I'm just kidding.
Now, I like this part. You're relieved, Sergeant, because you're going to be relieved in a few moments, my friend.
He doesn't want him to hear the headboard smashing against
So
the wall.
here's the thing. If so he outranks pretty
I
much
love how amazed she
everybody.
is when she says that. They trust me? the idiots.
Yeah, nah. And this is the cringe dialogue when he's like, "No, but they trust me and I trust you." And I'm like, I have questions. Why do you trust her? Like, at what point has she given you? She's given still no valuable information has been given, even after their little love VR moment on the Halo ring. She's given them
Call it
no.
what it is. Cyber sex.
Well, you know, like they say with the difference between men and women, right? It's like women, when they lose it for the first time, it's like, "Oh, I really cared for this guy. He was the one. I thought it was all amazing." And why do men lose it? Because she let me.
Oh God, it's so true. Sad but true.
This is so fucking. This show is so fucking bad.
Now, Disparu, on the so I wasn't here last week because we had to shift dates due to Mother's Day, and I just couldn't get out of work. I didn't take anybody to the ground, so everything's fine. But
one of those rare weeks.
rare week. No, but I still had to. I got called back in. Like I had to go down to the campus police and have a discussion with them. Because this guy has apparently now attacked 2 other people on campus. So
wow, you should just go bash him again.
I don't know.
That's not legal advice.
Yeah, I can't just go find him and beat his skull in. That would be wrong. Apparently. But anyway, no, but the week you were gone and it was myself and Lethal and Epic Mike, aka Big Mike, as I like to call him. Lethal and Mike convinced me that this was this is a porno, and I was like, no, we've got some shots or whatever, but no, they would not. No. Yeah, no, it's a porno.
Yeah.
It's a really bad porno.
It's the most expensive one ever made.
Are there good ones?
Are they good? Of course there's good pornos. What are you talking about?
It's not my genre. I don't know.
They have nicer hair than that.
You got what?
They have nicer hair than that.
Oh God, the hair. Lethal and Mike were right. Yes, they were a Trey country. Oh my God, I was right too when it came to the pill in the ass. But yeah, I gotta say, I was not.
Could you imagine if Axel Braun made a fucking Halo porno and it's actually full on lore accurate? He'll do it.
I would probably watch that. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey,
that was the thing with this, wasn't it? It's like we have to sanctify their sacred ring. I'm like, he's going to sanctify us.
I got a comment. I got a comment on my video. It was like, well, it's just like the game. The sacred ring was penetrated by a pillar. Talking about
that was it. The sacred ring must be cleansed. I'm like, wow.
And Disper, you've still not played any of the games, right?
No.
So I have a question for you. As having a more limited Halo lore background, is any of this making sense to you?
Well, I have a bit of help that I'm on this, and so I hear Lethal and some other people from other reviews talking about the bits they missed.
Yeah.
But things like the Call Protocol, the only response from everyone was, what? There's never been, even if you've said it before, we don't know what it is. And you're talking about it as if it's a big major deal, as if we should all know. Can't decide whether it's for people that have played the games that know it or not. It's weird. But I think a lot of it is, like you said, the characters change for no reason whatsoever. The story doesn't really make any sense. The scenes, like when they revealed the Halo ring for the first time, all the music kicks off as if it's this, it's an amazing thing they found. And I'm like, you haven't given me any reason. I don't know what this thing is. You said it's a weapon, but you've not gone any further than that. You've given me no reason to care that they're on a Halo ring in the first place or what they're supposed to do with it. Everything's so trying to be mysterious that it's like nothing has any stakes.
Yes, that would be an excellent. I mean, I've never watched a show where I watched an entire planet get wiped out, right? But and not feel anything. Like, I was like, okay, nice. But like, why is this a big deal? Like, why is this a big deal? Like, okay, the Covenant's been glassing people for a while now. In episode 1, we literally had one of the rebels that everybody seems to have just forgotten about. Like, one of them literally said that their planet had been glassed by the Covenant. So this has been going on for a long time, which makes the confusion and shock, or what I assume was attempted to look like shock on everyone's faces, really confusing, because there's no consistency. They've been fighting the Covenant in very episode 1. We've been fighting the Covenant for decades. Okay, so clearly they've been glassing planets for decades. But now we come here to episode 8. This is the the season finale is this week. Yeah. And nothing has happened in this show. I'm so confused. He's touched a magic toilet seat. He's dug a pill out of his ass, and he's yelled at Halsey, and then gotten over quite quickly the fact that she betrayed him multiple times.
It's one of the reasons I think it's an advantage not to play the game. I was going to play the games for this. The moment they said it's not the same universe, I'm like, no. But I think it's an advantage not to, because I do think that you've assumed a lot of information based on your knowledge of the actual canon. Things like they were glassing planets. Things like the Halo actually wipes out all sentient life. We don't know this. They've not confirmed it. And they're making it sound as if the Halo will only wipe out who you target. So if the Covenant get it, the humans get wiped out. If the humans get it, they can wipe out the Covenant. But everyone's going, no, it's all sentient life. Well, until it's confirmed in the show, that's not done. That could be the first time they've glassed anything, because that's the first time they've shown us.
Haven't said in this show how many Halo rings there are. For all I know, there's only one. There's just the
Yeah.
one.
Anything you assume from the games could well be wrong, because it can be whatever they say it is.
But then why are they calling Chief Demon? Why are they calling him the Demon?
I kind of had a little back and forth with someone in a respectable way. He was like, yeah, but keep in mind, they did call Spartan demons. And I'm like, yeah, that is true. They referred to Spartans as demons because it was like remember, it's a holy war.
Yeah.
But they
in this implied it was him specifically.
Yes.
Well, it's both actually, because Spartans as a whole are demons, but he's Lee Demon after he destroys the first Halo ring in the first Halo. In the first Halo game, he blows up the Halo ring. It's the word Lee is basically what we're pissed off about.
In this, to me, the impression I got was that he was called that just because he'd killed a lot of them in the past. That's all it seemed to suggest.
Pretty sure that Halo rings wipe out all sentient life in the galaxy. No, in the games.
In Halo. But this
in
isn't
Halo they do. But it's not in the games. It's not one ring can wipe out the entire galaxy. It's like, let's say the galaxy's this big, right? One ring will wipe out this much. So that's why there's all rings all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
I get you.
And that's why
and they have a thing called the Arc, which can activate all of them at once.
Yep, and that's why when Chief destroys that first Halo ring and earns that nickname, that's why it's such a big deal, because now there's technically a pocket of the galaxy that the Halo rings can't destroy, even if they use the Arc.
Yeah, which is why they rebuild it.
Yep.
So they're all like, and the thing is, like, they're built because I think it was episode 4, they did something that I felt in this, they were kind of teasing, or maybe it was just an Easter egg of the flood. I'm like, shit, are they going to bring the flood into this? Because the rings were created by Forerunners to fight off the flood, which were originally precursors. And the thing is the rings activating won't kill the flood, it will kill all their food. And that's the only way to stop them, which is why they specifically say so many times, man, one little fucking flood spore can wipe out everything.
Yep.
That's why they're so adamant about it. And then you have the Forerunners, which think kind of Noah's Ark style.
Yeah.
The Forerunners would take a human, a bear, a pig, every alien species, and store them, right? And store them like their genetics. So that way, when they activate the rings, it's basically a reset of everything. And then everything would slowly come out and start building their shit up again. And that's why humans were like fucking given the mantle of this mantle of responsibility.
Is that why they were nicknamed the Flood then? Is that meant to be like a biblical reference?
In the game,
I think it's more like they just flood everything. Like they just swarm everything and destroy everything.
Yeah.
They're basically like zombies into a weird extent. Basic bitch way is zombies.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of discussion between how like religious or theological the Halo games actually are. They're like, well, it's literally called Halo, like the halo of an angel, and then you have the flood like you had with Noah's Ark. And
they do it with Mackie in this. I was astonished.
Yeah.
The end scene in this, it's like it goes up and she's got like this angelic light behind her as if she's the amazing, and then it goes up and the sun's just over her head like a shining halo. I'm like, I can't believe you just.
Do you know what that reminded me of? Of Endgame. Hey, Peter Parker, you got something for me? When she's standing over Spider-Man in Endgame. Yes, and hands the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
Anyway,
so
I don't
he's
know.
already given.
Like, yeah, that's a whole. If you want to talk like theology and stuff, that's a whole other stream for a whole other time. Because this show, if it's anything to do with theology, I think heresy would be the only thing that we could technically give it in theological terms.
It's so fucking bad. He's already licking his lips because he knows he's about to get some.
Dude, like, I actually thought he was gonna like eat her, and I don't mean
well,
like I don't.
Yeah, he did. Well, probably.
But like, I legitimately thought he was gonna go like crazy and like literally like bite her flesh off. that's the look on his face. Like he's going to eat her. Like
I mean, I
Hannibal
think he's
Lecter
44, so first time in 44 years.
He's 44. Yeah, he's in his 40s.
Yeah,
I
keep
keep
that
thinking.
age gap. It's really creepy. Like she looks so young, and he does not.
How old is he in real life? Because he looks.
He's 44.
In real life, fuck, he looks younger than that, man.
Yeah, he's 44 and Halsey's 52, I think.
Yeah, dude, she looks really good for her age, man. Really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're about to get it on here. And
It's all those clones. She's been experimenting on their skin, so she knows exactly what to infuse herself with to keep herself looking young. That's why she's actually cloning herself.
Here it is.
She's 34.
Here
Ew.
it is.
She looks way younger than 34.
She does. She looks my age, man. Look at this thing. It's all kind of be like, it's supposed to be like romantic as well. And we're all watching this being like, this is fucked. It's all like noses pushed next to each other. I reckon he sniffed her as well. And then they start getting naked.
I just don't get it.
No.
Alien spy that wants to wipe out your entire planet, and you're like, well, you know, I do like a bad girl.
Holy shit!
And this is why when people like the Covenant see the Halo rings as sort of spiritual, I think that's what this show's going for. That's why I asked you if the UNSC just saw them as tech, because the only thing that explains this is they went off in that VR experience as some kind of spiritual moment that was really impactful, because nothing else could bond them this quick.
Did they ever follow up on that? Did Cheeks ever tell everyone what he saw?
Maybe off screen, I don't know.
I don't.
Wasn't said
I don't
on screen.
recall. It wasn't. No, I don't think it was
No.
either. Which you think would be like a very important moment. But hey, I saw this fucking ring.
We ended on the last episode, if you ignore the Quan one, with them on the ring, and then we start with this one with them just drawing circles on a mirror. That's all that happened.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. And then get ready to see this in a few months as well. With
It
elves
certainly
and
is.
dwarves.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. LAG, you're muted.
I'm
He turns-
muted. I'm muted because I actually physically gagged at that. I actually gagged. I don't know how everybody's gag. I don't know if I've got sympathetic gaggers in this in your live stream or not.
She
So
might have
oh god.
Yeah. Turns her around and looks at like a fucking mark there to be like, you're in pain.
You can't.
Go on.
Allegedly, this is both of their first time, correct?
It has to be.
Unless she's been with the Covenant, yeah.
Yeah, unless she's been. Yeah.
Which would anatomically make no sense at all.
Do we know?
But I digress. What?
I've seen some crazy things fit up there.
What in? Do you think that possibly the reason that he is doing some of the things that he is doing, because I don't know about you guys, but my first time was like awkward and not very great. I mean, this was not graceful, but like, I wouldn't call my first time smooth. I'll put it that way.
About the noses.
Like,
There's a guy somewhere here, I can't believe I'm getting outed like this.
Chief is doing moves that a newbie virgin would not know. Even in a military setting, because Spartans are set apart, if all of them have the pill in their ass, and sex was never a thing that was ever on their mind, and it wasn't anything that they ever looked into or cared about because they were emotionally voided. Do you think that when Cortana was downloading the human knowledge, the history of human knowledge, is where he learned some of these moves?
It's like 70% of her data banks is just like adult material.
That's what I'm saying.
If that's true, Cortana is the ultimate bro.
I'll make
Maybe
sure
that's
you're
why
prepared,
she's
Master
sad.
Chief. Maybe that's why she was sad. He like wasn't living up to her expectations. Like, I thought
Come
she'd be
on,
like,
man. I downloaded every single version of the Kama Sutra, and this is what you could do. Fuck, bro.
I'm just saying. Like, Chief is doing moves that he should not know. I don't care if he is La Demon. I don't care if he is Master Chief. I don't care. It ain't gonna be that. No.
He's a 40-year-old man that's got the hormones of a 16-year-old boy. And he's
Yeah, it
doing
would have
pretty
been.
well.
Yeah, he was.
So would
And-
you go as far as to say you're impressed by his performance?
If he's legitimately a virgin, yes, it was still a terrible scene, and I had what is that called? Hand-me-down awkwardness, or what is it, like when you feel awkward for someone else, or like secondhand embarrassment? That's what it was. I had secondhand embarrassment during this scene. But if he's legitimately never been with a woman, I don't know where he learned some of the stuff he's doing. Case in point, what you have on the screen right now.
And
What
this
about
guy
her?
didn't even know how to Google.
Yeah,
Right?
this dude didn't know how to
I can't even
Google it.
Google. So, like, it's got to be from when Cortana downloaded all of that info. That's the only thing I can come up with.
It's like the Matrix. She just like uploaded it to his brain. I know kung fu.
Yeah.
What about her? She seems to be aware of what to do.
I don't know.
I can
Maybe
actually
they're.
understand it with her because she is a spy. The Covenant could have like trained her in sort of manipulative arts and stuff. Now if they planned
was.
all along to send her into human company, they could have actually trained her for this.
There it is.
That's true.
Yeah, she
There it
really
is.
God.
Cortana watching him fuck.
Yeah, she's just. I can't believe you are soiling my body with that skank. That's essentially.
Now, what's funnier, Cucktana or Voyana?
I think
Cucktana.
Voyano.
Voyana?
Because I don't think the Cortana works because she is like him in a way.
Ah, fair.
Yeah, I'd see. I think if you wanted to get technically, it's more of a voyeur situation.
Definitely.
But
And I think it does count as a threesome simply because she's feeling it herself.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, does this mean, because Chief can see through Cortana's, like, she has the capability of letting him see through her eyes. So does that mean that Chief is banging while also watching himself bang?
Oh, that's a very. That'd be a male thing to do. Yeah, that's the same reason people have mirrors on the ceiling. I can absolutely see that.
yeah.
I just don't understand this, like, this pull that they apparently have towards each other. Like, why are you so obsessed with each other after spending virtually no time together outside, like you said, Disbrew, your VR time in the ring?
We're the same.
Yeah, like, I'm so confused. I wish Lethal had been right when he said that she was going to be the arbiter, because I could have at least been
She
like,
still could be.
Quan.
it's Quan.
The thing is with this as well, the only thing when there's like we're the same, all you do is you share a genetic trait. It's no different than two people having ginger hair at the end of the day. It's
God.
just rarer.
Now keep in mind, there has to be cameras in this room. I'm assuming there's cameras in this room because this is where they're holding.
It's a prison cell, yeah.
Yeah, where they're holding her. So someone's gonna come look at this footage and be like, "Yo, what's going on here?" Or you download
This
it,
is a
make
very
a few
pleased
bucks.
security guard.
Spartan's gone wild. But
Nobody's
remember,
gonna look at that. Nobody's gonna look at that camera footage. They only care when he's walking in the park with her. That's the
Cortana's
only
live
time they
streaming
care.
it.
And if you're like on duty to guard a prisoner and someone comes along and relieves you of duty, presumably you're going to report that somewhere. And then people will be like, well, why was this unguarded? What happened? It went on for like 12 hours all overnight. And then
Yeah.
we might
Keep in
check the
mind,
footage.
they're both asleep. So time
Yeah,
has
it's been all
passed.
night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good on
That,
him.
again, impressive for two people who've allegedly never had sex before.
Well, unless he lasted 30 seconds, immediately fell asleep, and then that was it.
But no, like, the
Stop
thing
crying
is,
about
so
Halsey.
whenever you're on post, you have a log book, and so you have a physical copy and you have a digital copy, and that is so if the digital copy gets corrupted, you have the hard copy, and if you lose the hard copy, which never happens because it's literally kept in a lockbox, and the only person that has the key is the CO, and the staff NCOIC on duty and the OIC will have the keys to that logbook, and you have to report in that logbook when you report to your post and when you leave your post. So technically they wouldn't have to report to anyone because a superior officer relieves them. However, he would still have to record that in the logbook. No, not a very hard copy. God dang it.
Yeah, he can't lose his hard copy. Not anymore.
But also, nobody followed up with Chief after he touched the magic toilet seat and asked him, what did you see? What happened? Like, he had to volunteer that information to them, which is ridiculous. Nobody followed up with him after he stole a ship and came back. And they were just like, oh, a simple, where you been? Nope, nothing. Like, these people
no one's
don't
asked the
follow.
Spartans about alien language for like the last 25 years either. So.
We have a winner. We have a winner. That's when they should have put the scene of the Marines saying "pay up" while watching the footage.
Yes,
They've had the pool going.
Absolutely. And it would have made sense too, because that shit does happen. I promise.
That's a worldwide thing, not just a military thing.
Yeah,
That's
no. Oh,
very
no. Yeah, no. So, I was on a base once. I won't say which one, but we had Canadian troops, we had British troops, and we had American troops. And I have never seen grown men pass that much money around over some of the dumbest shit. They would literally bet. So they would pick someone and they would be like, okay, he's in British utilities. So what do you think he's going to call like a can of soda or a can of is he going to call it pop? Is he going to call it soda? Is he going to call it so the Brits couldn't bet. They were the ones that would hold the money. And they'd be like, okay, this is what you said, this is what you said. And then they would go ask that Brit, they'd be like, what is this called? And then the Brit would say it, and then they would win. Yeah, Makey is a barracks bunny, absolutely. But yeah, it was just
That's killing it with the sex jokes.
Oh man. It's better than
It's what my video was. All the way
through. It's so funny to watch people from different countries, they all act the same. I was so confused. I was like, how did you know he was going to do that? Or how did you know he was going to say that? And literally the answer, 9.9 times out of 10, because he's a guy.
Yep.
Literally.
It's almost as if it's built into us over thousands or hundreds of thousands of years of evolution.
I know.
So why, if she's on her mission to kill him, she could have just turned on her coke nail and just stabbed him in the neck. And there we go.
Yep.
Done. You just wiped him out. Mission accomplished. But she starts going good. She starts coming back to humanity through the power of cock. Which I personally believe that makes sense.
Bang the evil out of her.
Look,
the evil out of it.
Here's the thing. And
Humanity's
Lethal, you said
greatest
this. Lethal, you've said this many times. You have said this many times. All these feminists just need a good
dicking.
They just need a good dick down, and they would be so much happier with life.
That is true. I've said that many times. All they need is a good dicking and everything's sorted. And I think it's proved here. Now, when they call Chief their most valuable asset, they fucking mean it because he fucked the evil out of this bitch, man. What a champion. But yeah, she starts to get her humanity, but all right, we'll keep that. We'll remember that for the next part. Oh, this part. What the fuck was this shit? This is her being like, no, I'm a good guy now.
And then she's really desperate to clean the sink. But, there's a big gaping hole in your finger. You're not going to hide it, love.
She's basically just ripped out her finger because there's a fucking energy sword coke nail.
Look how big it is.
That's her whole fucking finger, man. Well,
yeah.
All of that.
That's down to her first knuckle. That's definitely down to her first knuckle. And she's just going to pull it out like it's no big thing. Oh, Jesus.
They did say that Spartans have stronger bones.
Yeah. And yeah, so now she starts turning back to a human. Oh, this part, I seriously think this was one of the weirdest parts of the whole episode, and that's including the sex scene. Cortana reports back that she just watched two virgins fuck. She reports that back to Halsey, and Halsey's all like, oh, John's got a girlfriend. And then Cortana's like, yeah, he's no longer alone. And then Halsey's like, he was never alone. I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, are you jealous that he didn't fuck you, or
yes,
he
that's
had me?
exactly what that means.
Well, I don't know. Because he was never alone means that she's been doing it for him.
Oh,
Ew.
yuck.
Either she's the mother figure or she's been doing that. That's the only two things I can think make sense with that sentence.
Ew. Oh man, I didn't need that visual.
Mummy's going
It's
to
like,
take care of
he's
you, John.
always had me.
That's just okay.
Jesus
The
Christ.
amount of possessiveness in this show is really disconcerting. Like, I mean, to the nth
It even says
degree.
he had me.
Jesus. He had
Creepy
me.
scientist guy in the back. So did I. What?
Oh god.
I've had
Dude, how
28
many
different
clones,
versions of you
legit,
this week.
how many clones do you think that guy has in his basement?
All
Got to
of
be
them.
at least a dozen.
All of them.
Oh,
All of them. He's cloning clones. He's 8th generation in.
It
Ugh.
literally goes Mr. Burns. Congratulations.
This
It's
episode, by the way,
excellent.
this episode confirmed for me even though I already knew Disparu was right, I'll say it again, Disparu was right. He's the best character in this show.
Oh, yeah, by a mile. That guy, I don't know what else he's been. I need to watch all the stuff he's been in because he's amazing.
He single-handedly might be the greatest actor of all time.
I know.
Yeah. Or this is just him playing himself. You know, you never know.
Oh, ew.
I like to think of him as like a really classy guy in real life and like reads the script and he was like, so I was reading the script and I figured I could add some pizzazz to my character. And I came up with the concept of I'm going to make him very rapey. I feel this character's not rapey enough.
Well, that's the thing. All of his lines, apart from if you remove that one scene, all of his lines could be delivered way because he's like, congratulations. But it could have easily just been, oh, congratulations. You know, it wouldn't have been creepy at all. He's the one that's making it creepy.
We're getting some love for him. And none of us know his name. We all just call him Rapey Scientist.
I was, like I said, I was going to look up what he was in, and the only thing I know him is Creepy Scientist, and I can't Google that.
And Cortana talks about how she learned love. She's basically saying how she's learned the concept of love by watching two adult virgins fuck, which... I got nothing on that one.
I have questions because, like, what this is establishing essentially is that love is an
Sex.
external force. No, like love is an afterthought or like a it's initiated by something external to the individuals. Like these two, like look, the two of them, Keyes and Halsey, like they do not in any way, shape, or form come off as a happy couple.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to be in love. She's just, her love is science essentially, and his is supposedly the UNSC. But I've not seen that in this series. But it's the what they are essentially saying is like base emotions just mean lust. But like when you experience something like the Halo ring, which is an external entity, that's when you fall in love with the person you experienced it with. It's like this show is trying to be really profound and it's missing all the marks.
Love is virtual sex.
Basically,
Demolition Man all over again.
It's Demolition Man.
Demolition Man did it
God.
better.
Yeah.
I have to go get my tiny humans though. I am sorry.
Oh, you do your thing. You do your
Disparu
thing.
was right. Lethal was right. Mike was right.
Big Mike.
Big Mike was right. I'm eternally disappointed, and I'm Halsey right now. That's how disappointing.
So was Cortana.
Yes, exactly. Like, dude, all the knowledge of human history, and that's all you got. Just saying.
Oh,
But
man.
this was a blast. I'll give you my rating for this episode.
I'd say 69.
Damn it, Lethal! You killed my punchline. I can't even say it anymore. It's not funny. But yes, I was gonna say it's negative 69.
It still lands. It still lands. Thank you very much. When's your next stream or video or whatever?
I've got 2 Lord of the Rings videos that should drop on Tuesday. I have 3 Wheel of Time videos that should drop on Wednesday, and I have 2 streams on Thursday and possibly one tomorrow.
Well, that's quite a lot. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you sub to Lady G. Fantastic to have you on as always, and I'm glad to get your perspective on the sex scene, which is why we're all here. Which is why everyone in the chat's here. We're all here to talk about the sex scene. So.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Lady G.
Thank you for having me, and I'll watch. I never watch your guys' episode reviews until after we do our Sunday streams, and it's always interesting to get your guys' perspective on it. So I'm looking forward to watching both of those.
Mine's just as many euphemisms as possible. That's all. That's all it is.
I can't wait. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Mwah. Bye. Thank you, chat.
Bye.
Much love all.
Thank you.
Bye.
I actually do think this may be their highest viewed, except like the premiere and stuff, but their highest viewed episode because it got so much hype and interest just because everyone was like talking about this one scene. So I think people will have gone and watched it.
You're right. I mean, there was so many people talking about just this particular scene. Even people that aren't watching the show, people that just don't care in general, they're going, what the fuck's going on with the Halo show? They did what? Like, I actually do think that scene might have broken the fucking, what's the saying? The straw that broke the camel's back. Or it might have just busted open the dam because everyone's now aware of how bad this show is because they fucked. I haven't seen anyone defend it. I've seen one person defend it, and that was the 343 community manager, but he was fucking lying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the definition of bought and paid for when you're working for the company. So, it's his job.
Yeah. Man, it's made the rounds everywhere across the board. So you might be right. This actually might be watched more than the premiere because there's 6. All right, so what's going on in this one? Oh, yeah, they're about to get rid of Halsey, which is a follow-up from 2 episodes ago. They're finally going to get rid of her, send her away because she's become a liability because she's fucking crazy. Turns out he's actually right. This bitch is crazy, and she's about to snap and go
But
full...
he's just as bad as her. Like, he was involved...
He's incompetent?
Yeah, but everything he's complaining about, like the kids and everything else, which is why
she's
getting kicked out, he did it all, and he's just not taking any responsibility. He's like, no, the system made me do it, the system made me do it. But you did it intentionally, and I think this comes across as really bad for him. Now, in later scenes, yeah, she's awful, but in this one, I think she's right. She's like, well, you're just as guilty as I am.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he doesn't take any responsibility for any of it, and then in... whatever episode it was where they show his childhood, John's childhood, he's standing right next to her.
Yeah.
When she does it. It doesn't even say in this episode, we had a deal. Like, I'll cover it up for you and you just
I think this should have been the other female scientist because she had nothing to do with it. So she could have come across and shamed her for it. But this guy he's just a hypocrite. You did it as well.
Yeah, they're fucking shit people. And they're trying to cover it up from Miranda because they don't want Miranda to know about it. This dude's over here just doing creepy shit. And they hack into the security so that way Halsey can talk to Mackie after Mackie's been dicked. And look at this. I raised him since he was 6 years old, and you just fucked my son. She goes on this whole speech, and it's all basically humanity good, but humans bad is basically her whole speech. And she ends up saying almost identical bullshit that the High Prophets and the Covenant say. And that's kind of what makes Mackie flip back and be like, wait a minute, you people are trash. Because she wants to take control of the Halo ring for herself.
Yeah, they just come to different conclusions. They both think that humanity's evil, but the Covenant want to wipe them out, and she wants to use the knowledge of the Halo ring in order to fix them. So, she doesn't even know what the Halo ring does. She thinks it's a weapon. She doesn't know that there's some super knowledge that could fix humanity. Like, as a scientist, it doesn't even make logical sense.
Yeah, she has no idea what shit is, but she needs it. Not humanity, not UNSC, not Spartans, her particularly. And it's basically, it's very identical to what High Prophets say, and that kind of snaps her back in a little bit. And I think, is this when she starts to go on her rampage? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She
completely loses it.
She orders 66s, doesn't take control of the Spartans, but like takes, what would you call it? Takes command of them, basically.
And this order's so stupid because she essentially says, that the command has been compromised by the object, so I'm taking command. It's like, yeah, but that would work the other way around as well. It seems like the Spartans just obey whoever gives them the order first, and as long as you go to them and say, don't listen to that person, they're like, oh, okay, fine.
Bunch of dumbest motherfuckers walking around the planet, man. And look at that. See, she's gone full Palpatine here. So this is like Halsey's fatal attraction. Yeah, kind of. And they're all like, well, what are we going to do about Cheeks? And she's like, nah, you can't trust Cheeks. He's compromised. And Cortana's going to be the one to take him down because remember in the 5th episode, she took control of him and knocked him out.
This is where we get the congratulations.
He pops in and says it. Have they turned on her yet? Has that happened?
No, they're waiting at the door and they're waiting for him to come up to the door. But
no, they have. They have turned on her.
What do you mean?
They knock her out. Is this when she discovers when? No, so first she discovers.
Yeah, this is where she works out that like it gets translated, which is just they clean up the signal.
And then she figures out it's Mackie, and she wants to radio in to tell him, but Halsey has taken down all the comms. And Gun Grease Spartan, they turn on Gun Grease Spartan as well because she's the one saying, "No, this is pretty fucked up. This makes no sense."
No, they turn on her because Halsey gets an alert that a pill's been removed. And
yeah,
so
that's
Halsey
right. The
tells
computer
them
starts
to
going
turn.
crazy.
Which, yeah, she's been in that suit many times. I don't know why the warning that it's never been flagged up before.
I know, right? They just had a whole battle of shit, and they had her in a medical bay when she got hurt, and they couldn't figure it out then.
And Halsey was on the same ship she's on now at that last battle. Everything was the same. It just didn't do the alert for some reason.
I'm trying to find where they punch her, but congratulations, there it is.
It's an amazing line, that one. The punching is later.
Where they punch her and knock her out.
Yeah, the punching's later because after.
Because they fall on.
Oh, it's after the. It's immediately after the suit up scene. It's,
is it?
Yeah. So where we saw the three of them get together.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where it comes up with an alert.
Yeah.
And then this is it. She takes her helmet off to talk to them, which is the only reason she gets knocked out so easily.
It's so dumb, man. She takes her helmet off.
Yeah.
So Halsey's trying to take control of everything. And she's like, yeah, no, this is all a bit munted.
Yeah, she's like trying to convince them, takes her helmet off, and they just turn around to smack her in the face.
But the way they punch her as well, it's like a solid fucking hit.
Oh, yeah.
Like
One guy turns around and like elbows her in the face, and then I think the other one comes behind her and smacks her again.
Have they punched her yet? There's no way he's compromised.
It's this bit.
Boys! Fucking
he like
belted
spins
her.
around and backhands her across the face.
And that's not all. Gets belted and then bang!
Yeah.
Her face, man, should be split open.
Yeah.
Teeth all hanging out. Nose fucking upside down. And this was the stupidest part of this whole part here.
Yeah, there's not a concrete block. Now they will know full well that they can destroy concrete.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And he actually destroys concrete later in the episode. But her face should be caved in, like destroyed. She doesn't have a single drop of blood coming out of her. Not one drop of blood.
I never even thought about that.
It's fucking munted. And then they tie her to the bench and she just smashes it with no ease with her fucking legs, which is like this.
Yeah. I think it's
How did you not figure she would do that?
And you see a big, massive platform shoes as well when she's lying down.
Yeah. Why didn't they strip her out of the armor or something? And now the fight breaks out as well here. So Cheeks in his N7 cosplay, because he's a big Mass Effect fan, it turns out, gets attacked by the two Spartans, and they have a pretty fucking... The more you think about the fight scene, the less sense it makes.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes running out of nowhere and tries to like...
Oh, there's a bit there with that gun, you know? When he takes the gun, you see the Spartan strafe to the left, and the guy's still pointing it at the camera. So you actually see the guy move out of his line of sight, and he's still pointing at the cameraman. It's weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, it's fully visible that he just strafes off to the left the moment he points the gun.
And in this moment here, Cheeks should not be able to overpower a Spartan that's in armor when he's not. Remember, Mjolnir armor gives you basically times 10 stats. To put it in D&D terms, he's basically on times 10 stats. So he should not be able to overpower him, and he should not be able to move faster than him. He's basically fucked in this situation. But nah, for some reason, it still fucking works against him, and they keep fighting. And watch this.
Oh.
Watch this part. Now, remember how the last Spartan got punched in the face by this dude? All right, watch this. Pause. And yet, when he does it to her, not a drop of blood comes out of her, and he's just caved in all that.
That also shows that they're not pulling their punches, because he intended that to hit him in the face.
Yeah, that would have killed him if that hit him. And also high reaction time. Yes, absolutely. I should have mentioned that as well. Times 10 on every single stat, basically, except for having sex with Covenant spies. -10 on that one. But yeah, so that should have just taken his face clean off if that landed on. And then what? If that actually landed on him, then what? They would have been, we just killed Cheeks.
Well, I mean, they do it. There's multiple times they smash him in the face later on.
Yep. And pause, because obviously that was going to happen. Like, how stupid do you have to be to tire to that?
Look how big those shoes are.
I know, right? I mean, come on. That was obviously... I don't know. Shields. They do show shields later in the fight as well. Because Cheek starts shooting at him.
For some reason, getting punched doesn't activate the shields. I don't know why.
Is this when they confront her?
Yeah, they drag her next to that artifact. They've already said that she can control the artifact far greater than they can, and they think, yeah, we'll just have her next to it. That'll be fine. You remember in the first episode, that sent out an EMP blast that took down the entire base, and they're like, yeah, let's have a spy next to it. Yeah.
And we know that she can control parts of it as well, because they're both together in like 1 and 2 billion or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Take down the Hassan. Take care, man. And is this when they No, she hasn't come in yet. Eventually Miranda comes in and goes, hey, you're that evil bitch that fucking killed everyone on the ship.
Yeah. And I think she goes, I was made to? I'm like, please, where was that in the script? We never saw that. In fact, what I remember was how she did really good acting on the floor to lure him in, and then strutted through them and took pleasure in killing the captain. None of it seemed forced to me.
It's almost like the bitch be lying, yo.
Yeah.
Now, this part I actually kind of liked, this little part here. Cortana hacks into the warthog.
Yeah.
And then
it's a good scene.
Rams him into it. I'm like, that's cool, whatever.
I think I would have liked this entire scene if he was in his armor, so it made sense. It's just every time he gets hit and I'm thinking, you should have died. I'm like, takes me out the fight.
And he gets hit quite a lot as well. And he does, bleed. But you watch, like we showed, where they punch the concrete wall or the pillar or whatever it is. Imagine if that was his face. Would have just caved it in there and then. And he's already starting to bleed a little bit. And he starts hitting him with dumbbells as well. Now, why this is stupid is if you remember in the Quan episode, when she was having her freak out scene and had to fight Cheeks in her freak out, she was doing similar shit. And it did nothing to him then. And the way he just blocks as well, when he's coming down that big fucking hit and he just puts his arm up to block it and he's got no armor on, that should have just smashed his arm.
It seems to me like they're treating the strength as if it's in the Spartan and as if the suit doesn't apply strength. Like, if you think of it as it's just like tank plates, but doesn't actually give them any added stuff, you could kind of see why he can block it. Weird.
I guess throughout the Silver timeline, they never actually say that it enhances them at all, does it? They just say it gives them shields and fucking HUD and all that stuff. But really what it is they're already fucking trained as kids, so they're already schizos, and then they get the surgery and become beyond human. And then they get the Mjolnir armor, which multiplies everything they can do by 10, and then plus gives them their shields and everything else that comes with the armor.
That would explain the scene where that woman was lifting all the heavy stuff, because they're trying to set up that Spartans are really strong, and that could just be the thing. They're saying that the armor doesn't amplify that at all. It's just all in the person, which is why she did it outside the armor.
So does that mean when Cheeks was bashing that elite skull in, he could have done that without armor?
Yes, I assume so. Just maybe his fist would have got hurt or something, where he's got gauntlets on. I think that's probably the only difference.
This show is so fucking bad. And yeah, so he's all fucked up there.
This is the kick.
Yeah, watch this. Watch this. Fucking bomb! You are dead,
I can't
motherfucker!
watch that without laughing every time. He smashes a metal wall and then he's just like, fine.
We're gonna watch it again. And this happens just before as well. Beating him down.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you not dead, bro? Give the pause so we don't get the takedown.
I honestly just expected his foot to go through his chest.
Bang! How the fuck are you not dead? They just booted him into.
And that's the thing. That's kind of stuff makes it like. And I'm a sucker for action fights, but stuff like that, no, it goes beyond what I can accept.
And then he goes for the gun. Because that's the other Spartan as well. So basically, they're all there. It's basically a 2v2.
Oh, this
Miranda,
is it.
yeah, Miranda comes in and like, that's her. She's the one from the Gladys. That's the one that killed everyone on the Gladys. And Mackie's like, I heard you. You slaughtered the entire crew. Like, well, how are you going to lie? Like, we've got proof that you did it. We got your voice on the recording speaking the same Healy language. You are a Covenant spy. That one black dude that was guarding your door called it from the fucking start. This bitch is a fucking spy, and we've just let you walk around everywhere. We've let you into the toilet seat room. What could possibly go fucking wrong?
And somehow she wants to be the victim in this scene. Which...
Does it show what she says? Oh, that's right. She gets pushed to the ground. She gets pushed to the ground because, you know, they know that she's fucking killing everyone in there. Oh, she cries out for John. She's like, John will save me. John will save me. And then she gets tased, and she has a flashback to when she got tased by humans as a kid. And that's basically what triggers her to get back into the all humans must die mentality. It's like, bitch, you are a toilet. I mean, you're in the toilet room. You are a toilet, don't get me wrong, but you're a human. So,
but the humans did nothing wrong in this scene. Like, after what they've just found out, she was then resisting, so he's stopping her. And they've realized that what you've done to their entire crew. I don't know what she expects.
Yeah, but she's the victim in this whole situation here.
Notice he does it in the same place as well as before. It's actually on her scar. And
somehow she just manages to get back up after being fucking tased because, yeah, it's the most inefficient taser.
She says, you'll pay for this. And she replies, no, you'll pay for it. I'm like, pay for what? They haven't done anything. You're the one who attacked them.
And then she touches the toilet seat.
It's you who'll pay.
And that pretty much ends everything. And there we go. She's back.
Yeah, and that's the Halo scene.
Yeah. Hey, Peter Parker. Got some for me. I'm going to bring up the side-by-side because, man, that looks exactly like an Endgame.
There's no way with this scene you can say that they're not trying to pitch her as the victim, as the good one, even though she's wiped out an entire ship of innocent people.
Yeah, they are fucking trying to say that she's the victim in this whole situation. When, yeah, exactly like you said, she just killed everyone on that ship. All right, so look at that. Okay, make a mental note of that. And look at that. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like looking down how amazing I am. You should be lucky that I'm here.
And yeah, basically her touching the toilet seat saves Cheeks.
This is why I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and say the Covenant are the good guys. Because she goes back to the Covenant after this, and they're pitching her as the moral one. It really does have a lot of humanity needs to
be better.
Go from the universe kind of vibes. Like humanity is just wrong.
And that's the end of the episode. The second to last episode of season 1, and that's how it ends. Jesus Christ. Do you think the next episode's going to be like an hour and a half long?
Oh, I hope not.
I really hope not.
In fact, if it's action-based, it might be shorter. because so far anything with action in has been shorter than an hour. Because it's like they've run out of budget or something.
Well, the big battle was like what 40 minutes, 45 minutes that episode. God, I hope this one's like 30 minutes.
Because some series would save up their money, but I think they're trying to just like keep it per episode.
Yeah, I think you're right. But that brings us to the end of this episode. What do you rate it?
Oh. It gets a point for the action scene at the end, even though he should have been in his armor.
John has a girlfriend.
I'm going to give it a point for the entertainment value of that as well. Because despite what it was funny.
Yeah, as a comedy, I'm giving this a solid 9. I laughed a lot during this episode.
This could have been a parody episode. It really could. This
was fucking hilarious. Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid, negative 69 is the way to go.
Absolutely.
So 10. As a comedy, I'm giving it a 9. As Halo, it gets 0. As sci-fi, it gets 1. But all up, I'm going to give it 2. Give it 2 because of how much it made me laugh. And there was a few moments that I did actually like. Showing the aftermath of a glassing, that's a point in itself. I'm giving it a 2.
It is interesting, because if you judge it on quality, it's awful. But if you judge it off entertainment value, this is the best one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is the most I've been entertained, but it's for all the wrong reasons, and none of them were what they intended.
How's this? Oh, actually, I want to have a quick look. Rotten Tomatoes. I want to see where this one stacks again. Is Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb that rates them individually?
I don't know. I don't really look at the review site.
Let's Halo. Let's have a look. Is this one ranked them individually?
Oh, I still can't believe they did that scene. Can you imagine doing, like, you finally pull someone because you brought them a book, and the first thing she does afterwards is, like, pull a finger off? It was that pleasurable. It's like, I touched you with this, I'm getting rid of it.
Oh, I don't think this does rate them. It must be IMDb then. Google IMDb Halo series. It does. All right, cool. Let's have a look. First things first. Yeah, go on.
You could use that as an objective measurement of whether Mozza is correct as well.
Oh, shit!
That's like without any bias from us.
Our boy D-Day Direwolf with a 5 through super chat. Thank you, sir. Watch a good show like Last Kingdom to detox your brain. I'm going to go through a binge of every single show that Rapey Scientist guy's been on.
He's had some weird titles of stuff he's been in. Like, one of them's just called Rough.
Rough. Okay, here we go. IMDb Halo. So episode what? Episode this? What? That was this episode. Got a 7.3.
Yeah, what? From who though? Is that critics or audience?
Look at that image there. Okay, show is still saved. After a disaster, it was the last episode. I feel it. We're back on the right track. Stay on track. And instead of doing stereotypical racial fillers, what the fuck? It would be a win to even do more stories about other spawns. Really? This is your.
You can predict what people believe based on.
There he is.
What shows they like? Yeah.
That's him.
That's the football hooligan version of him.
What the fuck is 8? 9, 1.
I was afraid it's just what someone put in one of them.
The people rating this above a 6
question
are a whack. Now that's more like it.
Wow.
3, 1. Why? Why is this so garbage? 10. Much better.
Hey, all you've got to do is show a bit of skin. That's all some people need.
Holy shit!
I like the ones where it's like multiple paragraphs because you've put in more effort into your review than they put into the show.
Holy fuck! How? Do these people just not have access to Pornhub or some shit?
It's Halo Hub.
Okay, so episode 1 is 7.6. Episode 2 got a 6.9. This one should have got the 6.9. Come on!
Which one
Fuck
was
you,
episode
internet. You let
5?
us down. Episode 5.
Because it was 8765, so it'll be Homecoming.
It's got an 8.3.
Is that the highest?
Oh, last week's got a fucking 3.8. It is the highest one. Fuck you, Mozzie, you dog.
We've still got the finale. We've got a chance.
Oh, boy. 3.8 on the Kwan episode. Nice. Well, I'm disappointed this one didn't get the 6.9. Yeah, I agree. Wow. Bitch, please. Motherfucker. Anyway, I think we're going to start winding this one down. Disparate, thank you for coming on. Mike couldn't make it. He had something going on. Plus, he was still kind of, whacking off to the sex scene. We don't judge that here. But yeah, anything coming up soon, Disparate? Are you going back on Twitch anytime soon?
At some point. I've got Rings of Power videos to do first. Twitch kind of comes way secondary after everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, Disparate on YouTube and Twitch. Rings of Power's next. There's quite a few topics I want to talk about with that. As they're cranking up to try and convince everyone that whatever's about to drop, which I think is the footage, is actually amazing.
How far are you from 20k?
About 800 or something, 850.
Oh fuck yeah, man! That won't take too long. Congrats. Thanks for coming on. Shout out to Lady G as well. Next week we're at the finish line, the big one. We can all rest for a month after the next one episode's done.
Seems like he gave her the big one.
Nice. As for me, yeah, I think do I have a video schedule? I'll double check. I think I have a video schedule coming out in the next few hours while I'm asleep. But in the morning, when I hop on Twitch, we're going to be attempting the 24-hour Twitch stream. So I'm probably going to fucking die. Yeah. I had that community challenge for channel points to do the 24 hours. Oh, yeah. And it hit that. So I'm like, okay, we're going to try the 24
games
hours.
Planned out and stuff.
I'm going to probably start with Evil Dead because I haven't played that yet. And I'm an Evil Dead consumer. I'll probably hop on quite a few different games. And then when Mozzie gets in, we'll probably do a bit of, I don't know, maybe a bit of Lost Ark or Apex or something like that. And go from there. But we're definitely going to be switching out between games. And I'm probably going to die. I've never done 24 hours before. I'm going to fucking die. Brady will be there to help me.
Yeah, as long as you're occupied. The worst bit is however long it is to when you normally sleep. There'll be a couple of hours where you'll really struggle, and afterwards it's fine.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. Once you get the second wind, you're good.
Mm-hmm. Then you can it's no harder to do like 36 than it is 24 because you kind of just miss a sleep schedule and then hits you again later on.
And then I got my I've got them over there. My blue eyeglasses, so my eyeballs don't fall out of my sockets as well, which would be good. But yeah, we will be doing that. And then the beautiful Lady G with a 5 through super chat. Mwah, thank you. Cortana gets a 10 out of 10 for honoring the bro code via download. Episode gets a negative 69.
Like if you're gonna do a job with me and you're gonna do it properly.
I totally forgot, and I wish Lady G was still here for this part. I assumed there was also butt sex in this scene. I have to assume that.
Well, there might be. I mean, look at the screen.
There has to have been. I don't accept it otherwise that there was not. Sacred rings. That's all I'm saying. Sacred rings.
Need to be cleansed.
Yes! With dong. And like...
Hey guys, I just wanted to share my skin routine.
They have that in common. I
like how surprised she looks, even though she's like doing it herself.
It definitely was.
The best acting she's ever done.
It was actually. She shouldn't have taken that down. That was the one thing that made her redeemable. Was like, hey, you can make fun of yourself as well. You should have just left that there.
Well, that's the thing. So many people used to be funny, and they're just not now because they
People
like
just can't
trying to
make
be
fun of
holier than thou.
themselves. If you can't make fun of yourself, you're probably a very weak mental person.
Well, when you've got so many rules about what you can and can't say, it's impossible to be funny. Because being funny itself, it requires the potential to offend somebody. Because it's meant
Comedy's
to be
inherently offensive, really.
Well, yeah, it's dark and everything else. Like, there is no such thing as like a safe joke. That's why dad jokes aren't considered funny, because they're just safe, family-friendly stuff.
Yeah, that's bullshit. It's just, no, look at me type humor. But we're going to call it here. Thank you, Disparu. Thank you, Lady G. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And they fucked.
Ah! Oh, sorry. You probably thought I was a drop bear. No, it's me, Bush Barbie. And today, I'm here to talk to you about dingers. Because like you, this bush has seen a cockatoo. Regardless if you like it deep in the bush or prefer it in the outback, make sure you look after your wombat hole. So many critters can get down there, and believe me, it's enough to make your dango go drier than a dead dingo's donger in the desert, so don't do it, even if he is a fun guy. Yeah, so by all means go wild. Just make sure you take a moment, in the moment, to use a moment, so you can keep the devil out of your Tassie and the jelly out of your box. That's it.